we're on the topic of basketball, let's get into like our little debate section
Okay.
with the top players and all that, and what's wrong with the NBA today, man.
Okay, let's
Jalon,
talk
I
about
know,
it.
I know. I tell Jalon all this. I tell him this all the time. The NBA today is garbage. Like straight. When I
You
say,
think so?
I'll tell you. Like, I think it's ass because there's just no competitiveness, man. I don't see competitiveness. I see a lot of brothers just linking up and trying to win a chip together.
Yeah.
That shit pisses me off, man. Like I like that old school rivalry from the '90s. You know, Bird, Magic, Jordan getting beat up by the Pistons. Like that type of basketball. Like when a man goes for a layup and he gets clocked. Like I like that type of basketball. You know. And today you don't even see that. You rarely see that sort of physicality. And these guys have inflated stats, and I don't know, man. I'm losing my edge to watch the sport or to even follow it.
Yeah.
So I want to see how you feel about that, and if you still like this current brand of basketball that that's been produced.
I think every era is different.
Definitely.
Every era has its pros and every era has its cons.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're not gonna over time, everything's gonna change in life, right? Like you look at how the world was in the 90s versus how the world was how the world is today. It's completely different, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I think a lot one of the biggest things is people always say I always hear a lot of older basketball fans be like, oh, the game is nothing nothing today like it was in the 90s or the 80s. It's like, well, nothing in the world today is like how it was in the 90s or the 80s. Nothing.
That's true.
The way we nothing.
That's true.
So why do you expect the style of basketball to be the same? Like, you know what I'm saying? The cars that we drive are not the same. The food that we eat is not even the same. The way we get around, the way we communicate is not the same, right? Nothing is the same. You see what I'm saying? So every era has its niche, right? And I think it's about appreciating the niche of every single era, right? So you look at this era. Man, this era is scoring heavy. Scoring
a lot of shots.
Heavy.
Yeah.
A lot of shots. The 3-point shot has never been more important, and it's really revolutionized how we play basketball. You think about the traditional big man. The traditional big man is done, right? You can no longer be the big man that could just grab rebounds, block shots, and dunk.
Nah, you gotta shoot.
You gotta be able to handle the ball and shoot. Yeah. And if you can't do that, I don't want you on my team.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you don't fit in the rotation, because you're a liability, because you won't be able to guard the next big man who could probably do all that stuff.
The same thing.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you look at this era of basketball. I think the great thing about this era of basketball is that, you know what? You look at the athletes that we have, we've never had more complete athletes in the history of basketball. From being able to play all 5 positions. Look at a guy like Ben Simmons. Now, hold on. Ben Simmons gets a lot of slander. He can't shoot the ball, right?
No, he can't.
But Ben Simmons is a point guard who has the body of a power forward or center. Think about that. He could play all 5 positions. He could guard all 5 positions. That's why he's always been defensive player of the year candidate, right? In the 80s, Ben Simmons would be considered a
god.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like a Magic Johnson, no?
He would be considered a Magic Johnson.
Probably a better defensive player.
Yeah, way better, right? They would probably be drug testing Ben Simmons every single week because they wouldn't believe it.
They would have been like, who the hell is this?
Who's this guy? Yeah.
I think you look at the complete list of today's game. I think and so because the game is so scoring heavy, it allows us to really appreciate great defenders.
That's true.
Like Marcus Smart, right? Like Rudy Gobert.
Oh,
right?
He rolled his eyes on that.
I don't read none of those guys.
I rate Marcus Smart.
Really?
I do rate Marcus Smart because
I see Bear flopping.
No, but he plays true hustle ball.
Yeah, he's a
true hustler, bro.
Yeah, he's a dog. Yeah,
Marcus Smart would actually fit well in the 90s.
Yeah,
he would. I think he would.
He has that demeanor.
I think the bad boy Pistons would love Marcus Smart.
Yeah,
they would pick him up. You know what I'm saying? And if the Bulls could go after someone like Dennis Rodman, why wouldn't they want to go after someone like Marcus Smart too?
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's the same mentality, same style of play, right? Obviously, Dennis, Marcus Smart isn't grabbing 20 rebounds a game like Dennis Rodman was, right? But
yeah, Rodman was just grabbing boards.
Yeah, Rodman was. Wow. He was cool. He was cool. We talked about he's before his time, man.
Real shit.
Before his time.
Ahead of his time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ahead of his time. But now to think about the product in the 90s. Now we look at the product in the 90s. I think the cool thing about the product in the 90s is that you had that smash mouth aggressiveness. Right, where you got people really being physical with one another. But Draymond Green made a really good point the other day. He said, I don't know if you saw this, but
no, I definitely missed it.
He said, yeah, you got guys in the 80s and 90s. pushing each other around and fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
But their fine was also $2. You know what I'm saying? Their fine was also $2.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas today, if you do that, your fine's $1 million.
He's got a lot more to lose now.
A lot more to lose, bro.
That's
Players
true.
are getting played a lot more,
That's true.
and so the league is taking away a lot more on those fines. You see what I'm saying?
That was a good point.
And when Draymond Green made that point, I was like, "Whoa!" I never really thought about that. But like their fine obviously wasn't $2, but like
it was a lot less than
it was a lot less, probably maybe $250 or something like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
parking ticket, basically.
Yeah, right. Even in the 70s and 80s, you got mans punching each other, and they probably weren't even getting suspended.
They were not.
They probably weren't even getting. They were probably getting a warning letter in the mail, or a warning fax. Like, excuse me, like league fax. Like, oh, this is your first warning. Don't punch someone in the face.
Mr. Green, don't do this.
Right.
Yeah.
So they probably weren't getting ejected out of games. Nowadays, you get ejected out of the game if you have bad breath.
Talking, bro.
Real shit.
You get ejected out of the game if you look at someone the wrong way.
Yeah,
if I look at you like this.
Yeah, you might get ejected. Get him out.
I told him, don't look at me. Get out. Intimidating me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I hear you.
So I think it's just like you got to look at like, the game. Even the game today is reffed differently, man. But like,
definitely.
I think I just like to appreciate the niche of every single era. I think like my most favorite era to watch.
Yeah.
For me, like obviously I was born in '97, so like I didn't get to like grow up watching like the Bulls, and I didn't even get to grow up watching like Kobe and Shaq because I was too young to even remember that, or Vince Carter, right? Yeah. I think that should be recognized because I feel like a lot of people our age these days talk about that stuff as if they were there to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't there to see it.
Yeah, none of us were there.
Study it,
yeah, we had to study it. Exactly, we had to study
Definitely.
it. But you got some guys that are like 24 years old saying like, oh. Like, Vince was doing this and Vince was doing that. I remember Vince.
Know that?
Yeah. Or if you see guys in the NBA saying, "Oh yeah, I remember seeing Vince do this." I said, "Bro, aren't you like 22?"
They were 6 when that was happening.
Younger than us.
Yeah, I'm like, you really were seeing Vince doing that? I don't remember. I don't even remember what's going on. Like, But anyways, I think my favorite era though, like that I've studied and been able to like really watch, like through like whatever film I could get, whatever highlights I could find. Definitely, I really like the late 90s, early 2000s. I like that, man, because
that was a sick era.
It was sick, bro, because you had the best of Jordan, you had the best of Pippen and those guys, and then every team had like their major star. Like most teams had their major star, right? And I think like
I agree.
Yeah, you had like one or two guys, and back then like one or two guys was enough to carry you the distance to possibly go to a championship, right? But if you look at some of the battles that you had back then, obviously you had the Bulls, you had the New York Knicks with Patrick Ewing. You had the Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller, right? You had
duels, some crazy duels.
You had you had Orlando Magic with Shaq and Penny Hardaway, right? Like you had a lot of great teams. Seattle Supersonics with Gary Payton, right? Like
Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp, the Rain Man, and all. You see what I'm saying? Like every single team had like one big name guy. Most teams had like one big name guy, and back then that was enough. All you need is one big name guy and a coach, a really good head coach, and a few good role players, and you could have a shot. You see what I'm saying? To win it all, to go to the finals and lose to Jordan, right? so I really like the late '90s, early 2000s because like the league was just really well balanced, and like every team had like their one guy, one or two guys, and I think that was pretty cool. Whereas like now, last 10 years,
well, the shift, right?
Exactly. Last 10 years, do you think about 2-3 guys not even enough to get you like past the first round anymore?
That's true, man.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
It's kind of, I don't know, man. But there's there are the teams that don't have, like, they don't really have the most craziest guys on their squad,
Yeah.
Like, when Giannis just won, bro, I still can't name 5 players on that. Like, I can't name 5 players.
Yeah.
But I'm a casual, super casual, But back then, I was still a casual. I can name a lot more mans.
Yeah. Well,
back then? What do you mean back then?
Yeah, we mean
like when I was a youth.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like when we were watching Boston versus Lakers.
Let's go.
We were both voted for Boston.
We're the only mans. Every other man was a Kobe tard. They're literally like riding Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. I'm like, bro, I'm a Celtics fan.
Get off Kobe's piece, man.
Real
R.I.P.
shit.
though.
Yeah,
but fuck, like everyone was just riding this guy. I was like,
so
are we talking about 08?
Oh wait, when Garnett said anything is possible, I was tweaking.
I felt like anything was possible too. I was so happy,
man. That was so powerful. So like, I've always rocked with the Celtics. Obviously, I don't think they'll win the series this season. But
absolutely not.
Anything's possible, man.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible.
But yeah, man.
But yo,
so, back to you were saying,
to touch on what you said about, I want to hear what you said about the Bucks. in Giannis' squad. What were you trying to say?
I can't really name too many mans, but they still won it. You know.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a fair comparison because I'm a super casual.
Yeah. So.
But it's like.
The thing that like. I think the last couple years of NBA history. When we look back 50 years from now, we're gonna look back and be like, yo, 2020 and 2021, were kind of really. Like.
Yeah.
There's some underlying things there that led to like different champions being crowned that might not have been crowned if there wasn't COVID.
Oh, are you talking about the Lakers?
Yeah, so I'm talking. So if we talk about the Lakers,
the bubble.
So hold on. First of all, I don't count the bubble chip. I think that's the Mickey Mouse chip. But like,
oh yeah,
I always call it the Mickey Mouse chip.
Yeah,
but
Mickey Mouse. Yeah,
but I think realistically, I think 2020. Yeah, 2020. If there's no COVID, no bubble, regular season, I think the Toronto Raptors go back to the NBA Finals and they face either the Clippers or the Lakers, right?
Raptors winning that.
And I think Raptors could win that series because if you look at that year, Raptors were whooping the Lakers in the regular season.
That's true.
I think they went undefeated versus the Lakers in the regular season. Kyle Lowry was owning LA. See, they're calling it LA Lowry or whatever it was. You see what I'm saying? So I think like 2020, no COVID, no bubble, regular season, regular playoffs, Raptors go back to the finals and they win it. And I think that was really needed to vindicate 2019 because 2019 everyone was saying, yo, Kawhi. Right? And Kawhi played a big part in it, yeah. But like if we had made it back in 2020, that would have really showed people like, yo, this team is solidified our we needed
place.
that.
Just on a topic of the 2019 championship with the Raptors, if the Warriors were fully healthy, do you think the Raptors would win?
We don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that.
Why are we talking about hypotheticals? Why are we talking about hypotheticals?
We need to talk about it.
We won, man.
Obviously, I don't want to like beat a bear about a lot of mans, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Like if they were all healthy.
Game 5 with KD.
Don't say you were cheering.
When he got injured?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say nothing, man.
The stadium was cheering. I saw that.
Yeah.
They were like happy, which is kind of.
But okay, I'm gonna be honest right now. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I cheered. All right, I cheered, bro. Dog, he was shitting in our faces,
bro.
He was lighting us up. He didn't miss a shot.
He 11 unanswered. Yeah,
that's
11
messed
unanswered.
up.
Broski, I was sitting down. It was one of my boys' birthdays, so we rented out an Airbnb.
Holy.
I'm sitting down watching the game. He pulls up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
I'm like, oh damn, you know, he's nice so far.
Yeah.
Pulls up again. Pulled up 3 times.
Yep.
Now I'm already like this. Fuck, man, we're done.
And you know what's crazy? I'll say this. The only thing I'll say is this.
Mm-hmm.
That was game 5.
That was game 5.
That we were up, I think 3 games to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we could have clinched that game, won the series right there.
Yeah.
If KD doesn't score those 11 points, we win the game.
Facts.
That's true.
If KD doesn't play that game, we probably win the game. Because if you remember, Kawhi in the fourth quarter took over.
Yeah, with 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
he started going
took
crazy.
over.
Yeah.
And he scored 10 unanswered points.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He scored 10 straight, and that's when Nick Nurse called the timeout because Kawhi was tired, and people were like, why'd you call a timeout? And this, and that ruined the whole flow. Mm-hmm. Warriors started hitting threes, and that's how they won the game. And then, obviously, Kyle Lowry to win the game gets blocked by Draymond Green.
Most people think he airballed it. Nah, he got blocked.
He got blocked. They went off the backboard.
That's true. I remember that.
If he had hit that shot, though.
If
he hit that shot,
I would have went to jail that night.
That would have been the first,
walk-off.
I'm pretty sure that would have been the
for a
first
championship.
I think that would be the first in NBA history.
That's messed up.
So, I always wish he hit that shot.
I
wish.
Prayed, bro. I was sitting in the thing like this. And then he airballed it. I was like, fuck! Fuck this guy!
Man, I wish he hit it. But hey, we won the series.
That's true. That's true.
But yo, to your point about the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks, right?
Shout out to them, by the way.
Shout out to them because
he did it the right way. The way that I'm happy with.
Yeah, he did it the right way.
It was organic.
It was organic. Yeah,
sure.
No one does it that way no more.
But to be fair, before you get into your point, KD, had he just been 1 shoe size less,
that's what I was gonna get to.
Okay, I got you. Just 1 shoe size less.
It was a size 14.
Yes.
You know, like an average NBA player, instead of being a 19 or whatever he is, or size 17, you know, they would have won, which is crazy.
Exactly.
That's crazy, man.
That's the thing. You look at the 2021 NBA playoffs. When we look back years from now, it was plagued by injury.
Definitely.
Right. So you look in the West, right? You look at you look at the Lakers. Anthony Davis went down with a back injury. You look at the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard tore his ACL.
Yep.
Right. You look at even the Suns. Chris Paul had 1 arm. Right, he has like some nerve issue in the back, and like every time he got bumped, like
what the hell is that?
And then you look,
but he still did well though.
He still did well. He still carried.
Wow.
And then when you look in the East, the Brooklyn Nets were not 100%. You got Game 7.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant's playing by himself.
He literally had to
That's
take
by
over.
himself,
Like, that's
and he
crazy, man.
went into God mode. That's what they call it, God
Yeah.
mode.
He had
And
to.
like you said,
Yeah.
if his shoe size was just,
one shoe size.
if he
less.
was just 5 centimeters back, just a little bit, would have won the
That would
game.
have been the game.
That's-
won the game.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, that's
man.
a tough pill to swallow.
crazy. Yeah.
And then obviously, I mean, you look right, like you look at the Milwaukee Bucks. They get to the next round, and who are they facing?
Who
in the
did they play? Was it
the Atlanta Hawks?
Oh,
Right?
man.
Yeah, they ain't.
And
Atlanta
that was
Hawks ain't
so
beat-
easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So even
That
if you
was
look,
a straight body bag.
yeah,
We knew
Yeah.
that from the jump.
Yeah. Like
They won that game, and Giannis wasn't even playing because Giannis was injured too, because he had that hyperextension.
Yes, I remember
Right.
that.
So
yeah, I
everybody
remember
was
that.
injured that playoffs.
Mhm.
So I look at that playoffs and I go like, yo, it was cool.
That's what I'm saying.
It was cool because Milwaukee deserved that because they're one of those teams that can attract big name free agents,
Mm-hmm.
but like it wasn't like a healthy playoffs, right? And that was because
Oh,
they had to rush the season. They had to fit like 72 games in like a couple months because the season started late because it was okay. It was chaos.
A lot of BS.
It was chaos, man.
Mhm.
So, but shout out to Milwaukee Bucks, bro. They did it the right way.
They did it the right way, man.
Their roster, you got Giannis, you got Drew Holiday, you got Chris Middleton. And
All right, see?
right,
Stop right there.
That's
all I know.
right.
I don't know anyone else.
I like Drew Holiday. He's
Drew Holiday's good.
very underrated. Great defender.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He can shoot the ball.
yeah,
Good like system player.
yeah. And
Mhm.
and you got PJ Tucker, who's a big piece for that team, like a huge
Oh, he's a loudmouth.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a huge defensive piece for that team.
For
And then you
sure.
had Bobby Portis, who they picked up midway through the season out of free agency, who was just floating around, who ended up being a huge piece off the bench for them. So
Okay.
they had
Made
a
it
couple.
happen,
They had a
yeah.
couple good pieces,
That's
man.
true. You're
The
right.
coach is trash. Mike Budenholzer, I don't think is one of the better coaches.
Nah, he's pretty dog water. Yeah.
yeah. But solid team. Solid team. When you look back in NBA history, you'd be like, oh, that was a solid team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, bro.
Shout outs to them for real.
But yo, all the people talking shit about the Raptors, saying, oh, we didn't deserve the championship, all that shit.
That's like the Americans though.
Y'all are some bums.
I don't want to hear that.
They don't know what's good, bro.
Listen, every single championship, not every single championship, but every year there's always gonna be like,
The
what
critics,
if
yeah.
this happened? What if that happened? What if this? What if... Lakers won a championship in 2020? Okay, well, what if they weren't playing in the bubble?
Then
You know
it's
what
a
I'm saying?
completely
That's what I'm
different
saying.
conversation, man.
You lose momentum,
Yeah.
man. When the bubble hit, a lot of players lost momentum.
Yeah.
They never shot a ball in 2-3 months.
Did you?
There's no
yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
You know, that adds
Yeah.
something, man. That adds
Yeah,
something
think
to the
about
game,
this.
bro.
Yeah.
All the games that the Raptors lost in that series against Boston in the second round, those would have been home games. Ain't no way Raptors lose 4 straight home games in a series.
No.
Every single game the
Yeah,
Raptors lost
man.
against Boston would have been home games. Realistically.
That's true.
No way. Right? You look at Giannis, right? Like, okay, well, what if KD was 2 centimeters
2
behind the line?
centimeters
Like,
behind.
there's always a what
Shoe
if. There's
size,
always a
yeah.
what if, man. Always. You can't say that.
That's true.
So, yeah,
Bare hypotheticals.
exactly.
I love it, man.
Shout out Raptors, yo.
Yeah, I think we'll be NBA champs probably in the next 2-3 years.
And you know
Again.
what? I got a question for both of y'all.
Yeah.
Just to begin to wrap up a little bit.
Okay.
Who's your top 5, dead or alive? You know what? Give me your top 10 NBA
Top
players
10
of
all time.
No, it has to be. No, it has to be top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah. Top 10's too much.
I can't lie, man.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to diss Kobe. I don't know if I have him in my top 5 still.
Okay, let's hear your top 5
And why?
and why for every single player.
And why?
And
eh?
why?
Yeah.
At number 5, Old Man Riverwalk, Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Number 4, White Man Bird. Number 3, the slanging demon Wilt Chamberlain. 2 and 1 completely. I'll never change them. Kareem at 2, and Michael Jeffrey Jordan at number 1. That's never changing. That's my top 5.
Okay.
No LeBron in your top 5.
No. No.
Okay.
I would rank Kobe higher than LeBron. People would say, "Oh, you're crazy," but no, I think Kobe's a better overall player than LeBron, and due to like
Why are you getting so angry?
because that's the thing, man. When we had this convo, I get cheesed because they don't understand. They look at LeBron's stats. LeBron's a great. He dominates statistically.
He's top 10
Yeah.
in your opinion, though.
He's top 10. You have to give him top 10. People give him number 2. I don't think he's number 2. Kareem's number 2. How you gonna diss Kareem? Every man disses Kareem, bro. Kareem is goated. Like
Why is he goated?
Kareem is the greatest basketball player.
Okay.
Jordan's the greatest NBA player. You see what I'm saying? Like
No, I don't
basketball's
see
high
what you're
school
saying.
and college. Bro, he
Oh,
dominated
okay,
college.
okay.
He dominated high school. Has all the records. Literally all the records. But in the NBA, for whatever reason, your what is it? Your Airness or whatever Jordan's name dominated. He just couldn't beat him. He just had that extra juice to dominate, man.
That's interesting. I don't think many people.
They don't know it like that, man.
I just don't think many people incorporate what the player did in college and high school.
Of course, we're saying NBA.
Yeah.
That's why Jordan's number one.
Yeah.
But I'm saying basketball player, it's Kareem, bro. All day.
All right. So to reiterate, it's
Number 5.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan, number 1.
Number 1.
Number 2,
Kareem, never changing.
Abdul-Jabbar.
And I have Wilt on number 3.
Wilt
That guy
Chamberlain.
was goated. He stopped scoring. He's the only center to lead the league in assists.
All right.
And mans can say he played with a bunch of white guys and all that. Nah, man. Mans weren't even able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, if you put them, do the old time travel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, Wilt was ahead of his time, for sure.
And then number 5.
Bird, Demon.
So wait, hold on.
Number 4 is Bird, sorry.
Yeah, number 4 is Bird. Number 5
Number
is
4 is
Tim.
Bird.
Tim.
Number 5,
Yeah.
Tim Duncan.
Tim. I mean, people might get angry at Tim, but nah, Tim was a really good player. Very good player. Very consistent for 19 years. And man's saying, this guy's an idiot. Where's Kobe Bryant? But we're saying legacy, you know what I mean? It's not just rings, it's your entire career and what you've done
The
and how
tangibles,
consistent.
the
Exactly,
intangibles,
that's what I'm
everything.
saying. So obviously, if Kobe didn't have Shaq, wow, maybe he wouldn't have 5 rings, but he would be a way dominant scorer, in terms of all-time records, for sure.
That's facts.
You know what I
hear
mean?
that.
So that's kind of my top 5. Obviously, I'm actually curious to see what your top 5 is still.
Okay, no, that's all top 5. I'll say this. I want to talk about Kobe first.
Let's get into it.
I feel like, first off, RIP Kobe, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people are scared to say anything less that could be interpreted as negative about Kobe
Mm-hmm.
For obvious reasons.
for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah.
But I think I feel like Kobe wouldn't want that. Kobe wants you to be real. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Mhm.
Be real about what you think. You know what I'm saying? And so so Kobe's not in my top 5.
Fair.
But I think he's top 10. Yeah,
Definitely
I think he's top 10. So my top 5. Michael Jordan. I'm gonna explain to you after. Michael Jordan.
Number 1, yeah.
Number 1. LeBron James number 2.
Fair.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 3.
Okay.
Will Chamberlain number 4. Magic Johnson number 5.
Interesting.
Okay, here we go. Michael Jordan is the greatest, the greatest NBA player of all time.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? I think you look at what he did in the 90s is unbelievable. He won 6 rings. He won 6-0 in the finals, 6 finals MVPs.
It's a record.
I think he could have won 8 straight if he had not retired.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But obviously RIP to his father. He had to go play baseball. I think he could have won 9 straight if he had not retired
Mm-hmm.
to play baseball and then stayed one more season. Right? Because if you look at the season in 1999, after they won their 6th ring, the 1999 season, there was a lockout. And so that season was actually 40 games.
So they could have rested.
They could have rested. It was an old team. That one of the reasons why they wanted to get rid of that team is because they were old and they wanted to rebuild. But that team would have been able to withstand a 40-game season because they're resting, right? So I think they could have won 9 straight if there were certain circumstances. We talk about what ifs, right? But
I definitely give them 7. 99, they would have beat Tim Duncan and Robinson.
Yeah. And they would have
beat them. So.
It would have been a cakewalk to the finals because if you remember in 1999, and I say you remember as if I was there.
I mean, we were still.
We weren't there. I mean, we were there.
We were alive, but we weren't coherent.
But if you do the research, 1999 coming out the East, the New York Knicks at the 8th seed came out the East.
Body crease franchise. I'm sorry. 99. It was bad for the East.
So it was the worst team in the East that just barely made the playoffs came out the East.
That's crazy.
And they got destroyed by the Spurs.
Definitely.
I think a veteran Bulls team could definitely beat Tim Duncan, David Robinson. And
reason being, the 98 team was the same. Would have been the same team in 99.
Exactly.
They would win.
Exactly.
They would win 7 for sure.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's why I get kind of cheesed.
Yeah, I think that 7th would have been.
That would have been wow.
Yeah. So
what would have happened, man?
And even if you look at the years that MJ retired in the mid 90s, there was one season where without MJ, they made it to the conference finals.
94, right?
Yeah, and so Pippen was leading that team, and so they were pretty solid, man. So I think MJ greatest of all time in my opinion, 100%.
I'm surprised you had LeBron at number 2.
Yeah, I think LeBron number 2 because listen, at the end of the day, you gotta look at the stats, man. And I think when it's all said and done, LeBron is gonna be most points scored all time.
Oh, he's shooting for that. I know.
Yeah, top 10 assists, top 10 rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Right, probably top 5. I think maybe he might top 5. Triple doubles.
Could be. Man.
Right, he's gonna be top 5 in every major stat category. And I think like when you look at LeBron was the first dominant all-round player. Right, he redefined the standard for this generation of what you strive to be. Right, like everybody wants to be an all-round player now. No matter what your height is, no matter what your size is, no matter all that stuff. Everybody wants to be like LeBron. He redefined that. You see what I'm saying? And if you just look at like what he's been doing, this guy's entering season 20.
Yeah, this coming season.
Yeah,
season 20.
Season 20, man.
So I definitely give it to him with longevity and everything. He's
but obviously
above all.
Yeah. He came out of high school, so it's like, you know. But I think like you look at the stats, everything, and I can see LeBron finishing with like, what do you have right now? 4? He has 4.
He has 4.
Yeah, I can see him finishing with maybe.
I mean, in your opinion, it'd be 3.
In my opinion, it's 3.
He has the Mickey Mouse championship.
Yeah, in my opinion, actually, it should be 2 because Ray Allen saved him.
But that's the thing. Like, what happens?
Always
now,
what ifs.
But what happens if Ray Allen doesn't hit the shot? Where's LeBron all the time? You see what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not discrediting LeBron, but like, I feel like for him, he's mastered the game.
Yeah.
And his production output, like statistically, passing, assisting, and all that. People look at the box score: 10 rebounds, triple double, 10 assists. But how valuable are those assists and rebounds? You feel me? Because how valuable is it to winning the game? Because if you look at a lot of series that they've won, they just won those series, within Miami and all that. I mean, LeBron's an amazing player. Like, I don't want to discredit LeBron because
you're discrediting, man.
Be real.
You don't like him.
If you're gonna compare me to LeBron will destroy me and my entire bloodline. You know what I'm saying? In the game of basketball, because Bill Russell will already destroy me. But like, I don't know, man. Like with me, I like LeBron still. I like him, but there's just too many deep, intricate things and flaws, man. Like, percentage-wise, like they'll give him he's a great shooter, but not really. Like, he's streaky. You know what I mean? And like the top players of all time, whether it's Kobe, whether it's Bird, and here's the thing with Magic, because you have him at top 5 or whatever. Magic wasn't really a crazy scorer like that. He was all around.
Yeah.
All right defender. Bird's a way better defender, but Magic was decent and all that. But the quintessential skill for basketball is to score. You feel me? So it's like
to shoot the ball into the basket.
In the basket. Oh man, I almost broke the mic. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like LeBron and Magic. These guys they're not doing that like the other man's on this list.
Nah, let me tell you, bro.
You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. LeBron gets there. Like he's had like that game in Boston, Game 6. He went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, consistently on the top players of all time,
bro.
Jordan, Kareem, even Kobe. When he hits it, it's over.
What are you talking about when he hits it? It's over.
When he goes on these streaks for scoring, it's some unbreakable feats.
We have to realize LeBron.
But
we have to realize LeBron has done stuff that not even Jordan has done. My brother went to, what was it, 9 straight finals? Like we gotta like that's some stuff that.
Yeah, but like when people bring that up, the problem that I have is it's at the
East. Yeah, I get
it.
It's
the Eastern Conference.
I get it, but look like this.
But that's a big deal.
I get it, but yo, this man's doing stuff that. Think about this, with how weak the East is.
It was historically weak after '98.
With how weak the East is, how come how come no star has been like, yo, like that's a weak conference. I'm just going like dominate that. Like, how come no one's been able to do it? 9 straight. You like
fair.
To go to the finals 9 straight times. That's something that like.
But then
we didn't even think we would see in our lifetime, bro. That's something from like the '60s. That's some Bill Russell stuff.
Bill Russell shit.
That's some Bill Russell stuff, bro.
But
you see what I'm saying? To do that in the modern day is ridiculous.
But you have to understand, he did it. But look at his support.
Yeah.
Man had D Wade. Now before D Wade's knee started shaking it for real.
Brother.
D Wade was number 2 in PER in the NBA in 2010 before they formed up the Big 3, and you had Bosh, the shaking it Raptor.
Bro.
Like CB was nice. He was a really good player, and he had to become a role player on the Heat to allow LeBron to statistically dominate.
I get that.
Bosh, these are all great individual players, but it's like that age. So Eastern Conference, a mega team.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Man's just trying to say Boston was a super team. Those bums were 33 and 35 years old. Like, that's not a super team.
Hold on. I have a question for you.
Shoot away, bro.
Is there any player in NBA history that you could name that won a championship by themselves?
No, because it's a team. It's a team achievement.
Now hold on.
But there's parameters.
Question.
You know. Continue.
Is there any player in NBA history who you can name that won a championship without playing alongside another Hall of Famer?
No.
There you go.
But then we can get it's gonna be like a 5-hour conversation because we can go into the intricacies of like each championship roster.
But what I'm trying to say is like every championship roster, with the exception of maybe this Bucks roster that just won.
Okay.
I think every championship roster that you look back on NBA history are gonna have like they've had like 2-3 Hall of Famers.
If you look at Jordan 98.
Okay.
97-98, Jordan had, or the Bulls had the second. So 98 was the second worst supporting cast performance, like output, in NBA history. Supporting cast. Jordan literally was the reason why they won that, fam. Pippen bitching about back spasms, crying in the back. You know what I'm saying? Jordan, I don't know how they won 98. They should not have won 98. They shouldn't even have left the conference.
But yo, fam.
Pacers should have won, but Jordan like literally went into
the God
above God mode, fam.
Well,
like,
I have a question for you. But yo, if you look at LeBron's later years in Cleveland during his second stint, this guy was bringing J.R. Smith, Larry Nance Jr.
Yeah, these guys
he was like, you know what? You know what? Real talk. LeBron in his later years in Cleveland, like after Kyrie left, like yo, he might have actually had some of the most like trash teams in NBA history.
That's true.
Even what he did with the Pistons, I'm not a LeBron fan, but even what he did with the Pistons in 07, or what he did with the Cavs in 07,
with just
beat the Pistons in the conference finals to get to the finals.
I mean, they had injuries.
But
still,
bro,
you know
like,
I mean? Like
he was 22 years old.
I have to give him his credit.
You go through that lineup, he had nobody.
Basket, you know?
The man did not have on that team.
You know,
the man he actually had 0 Hall of Famers, bro. He had like
that's true.
I don't even know if those guys are like Hall of Fame G League. Like I don't even like. You see what I'm saying? Like
I know what you mean. Like the supporting cast was ass,
bro.
But then that's the thing. It's like I always tell them. It's like, look at the conference though. It was literally butt cheeks. It was butt cheeks. That Eastern Conference, had the Pistons been fully healthy, Cavs aren't going to the finals. Yeah, they got swept by the Spurs, but I always tell man, Joe, just look at the records and compare it to the Western Conference that year. I don't know if the Cavs they probably would have been the 8th seed, and they would have played the Spurs in the first round. Hypothetical, obviously, but let's say this is what his fate was, and he was in the West.
Yeah.
Broski, they would have got swept in the first round. LeBron can't accumulate these finals appearances. You know what I mean? Had the roles been reversed. That's why I feel real bad for Kobe, because I never really gave him his true credit in terms of what he was actually able to achieve. He was undervalued because of Shaq. Shaq was the biggest, freakiest, most dominant player at the time.
Yeah.
Man's just trying to say, yo, he might eclipse Jordan. And on paper, if you look at his numbers, 36 and 18 in the damn finals, like he was sunning the damn center on the Pacers or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, but Kobe was giving you buckets, and I never took it in. And I'm like, yo, but Kobe was nice still. He could have led the team. He had the mentality. Obviously, Kobe's only flaw would be percentage, right? He took a lot of shots, a lot of questionable decisions. But do you blame him? Man has Smush Parker, like. Who's that?
In his later years, Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown, like wasn't Kwame number 1 overall?
Yeah, Michael Jordan drafted him. Bro, straight out of high school. But yo, I think
there's and that's why with Tim, mines get mad when I have Tim at number 5 because Tim there was no turbulence in the franchise. The Spurs were literally probably the greatest sports franchise out of all sports, out of all American sports. There's no turbulence. It was like no drama throughout. Duncan was just cruising with his white ass extra large t-shirt coming in, no lineup.
Kirkland tee too.
Kirkland tee putting in work
from Costco.
Like let's say, what if Kobe had that, that turbulent franchise, like it was just stable. Kobe could really rack up, or even KG. Like if you do the what ifs.
But then I mean, you look at and then now to look at again supporting cast. You look at who Tim Duncan played with. He won his first championship alongside a Hall of Famer who was a veteran,
David Robinson. Yeah,
right?
and he's a really good player.
Man got Manu Ginobili a few years later.
And
right?
Ginobili leveled up.
Man got
second round players, but they put in the work to become good. And Parker was
got Tony Parker.
Fire player. You could do it, yeah.
So that's 3 Hall of Famers. Greg Popovich.
Great coach.
He also had Steve Kerr for his first championship.
That's
you
true.
see what I'm saying? So, like,
they're aided by like the veteran leadership. I agree with you.
My point is like I look at LeBron and like we make all these arguments against LeBron, the conference he played in, the supporting cast he had.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like when you look through the story of NBA history, so many other players have benefited from those exact same things. Right? So many players have benefited from having crazy supporting casts. So many players have benefited from having a weak conference. Right? Like you know, so like if we look through the NBA history, we look through the whole story,
that's true.
It's consistent. It's consistent.
Yeah, the team is consistent.
So, but I look at LeBron because I'm like, listen, no matter what, at the end of the day, he is the greatest athlete, in my opinion, in NBA history. Athlete, right? He's not the greatest player.
I don't think that's actually.
I think he's the greatest athlete.
Better athlete than Wilt Chamberlain?
I think he's the greatest athlete.
I think he's a better athlete than Jordan?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, if we want to talk technical, like
athlete, like not player,
like who could jump higher?
Well, Jordan jumps higher. I think it's like Jordan has a 48.
Yeah, probably.
LeBron has like 44. That's high as shit. Lateral quickness with LeBron isn't to the same level of Jordan.
Prime. I think prime LeBron. When he like prime LeBron,
he was flying. Still.
I don't think anyone could ever eclipse that like level of athleticism like in NBA history.
I think I agree.
Like I don't know.
LeBron's a demon,
what he was doing in his prime.
A physical anomaly.
Like his first stint in Cleveland, he was doing.
Yeah.
Yo, and then when he was in Miami, oh my gosh, like, bro, he was jumping over people. Bro.
That's true.
He was.
But I mean,
he was.
But Jordan was jumping.
Jordan wasn't jumping over man like that. No,
Jordan was doing some next fucking shit, and he was hitting off the backboard.
Jordan has his good movement.
But in the hands too, right?
But like, I think pure athlete.
I'm giving it to
like, yo, if you look,
people will say LeBron because of the mask,
exactly.
right?
But that all falls into that.
It all falls into that.
Where would we put Wilt Chamberlain? Because he was basically everything.
To me, like Wilt Chamberlain left and played Olympic level volleyball, right?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
He's different.
That
guy's so terrible.
But my thing is,
he was benching 5 bills, wasn't he?
5 bills. That's what Schwarzenegger said.
LeBron could play in the NFL.
I agree.
LeBron could play in the NFL.
There's no way I'm disagreeing with
that. If he wants to play in the NFL. Jordan could not play in the NFL.
I mean, he could be a wide receiver in the NFL.
No, he can't.
He ran a 4.4.
This is a football man.
I'm telling you,
I can't. Yeah,
LeBron could play. LeBron could play in the NFL for sure if he wanted to. Like when he was in his prime.
What position do you think he play? Wide receiver?
I think he could play a tight end. He could be a tight end.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You wouldn't give him wide receiver?
No, he's too big.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to give him that. I think it'll be a waste of just his athleticism and his talent and all of his like abilities. Like I would want him blocking. I would want
because he has the force and that power.
And then and if you look at the wide receiver, if you look at the tight end today, the tight end today is just basically an extension of the wide receiver position because you have like now more than ever tight ends are catching passes and going for 50-yard catches, all that stuff now more than ever today. So like I would have LeBron doing that like in 2007, and he would be considered before.
So he would revolutionize the position.
He would be the. You know what I'm saying? So like he would be what's the term? Ahead of his time or before his time?
Ahead of his time.
He would be ahead of his time.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying for that.
I think, but anyways, nonetheless, I gotta give LeBron his flowers at number 2.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
And number 3, you had Wilt.
Number 3, I had Kareem.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, because Kareem was the GOAT before Jordan.
That is true.
Right.
Greatest basketball player.
6 rings.
Not NBA, but yeah.
Right.
6 rings.
Scoring champion all time. Right. Like a record that he still holds to this day.
Yeah.
The first player to ever have an unstoppable move. The sky hook. Nobody could stop the sky hook back in the day.
Wilt did block it though.
Wilt blocked it.
7 times in one or something like that. Yeah.
Wilt blocked it.
That's what Wilt's different, bro. Like this guy, I don't know how he could come out like that.
He's a genetic freak.
Yeah.
But like of some next alien genetic, bro.
Yeah, he might have been an alien or something.
You can't.
So I gotta put Kareem in there, and then with Kareem you gotta go with the longevity as well because
that's Kareem
was playing into his 40s when it wasn't even common.
And he was one of the first athletes that took up yoga. I remember you mentioned hot yoga.
Yeah.
Trying to give Gilleon the blueprint to become the next, the next dog.
To go to the pros,
successful. Yoga and like, especially for like athletes and all that, they don't, they think yoga, they think stretching and all these weird poses, but
it's mind, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Kareem was ahead of his time for those things. That's why he was able to play for so long.
Yeah.
And that move, that little shimmy and damn, Kareem was different still. And he had the shades on too.
Yeah.
Jeez, Kareem was sick still.
He was different, bro. He was different.
Yeah,
Have you watched Winning Time?
Nah,
So
it's a sports documentary.
It's on Crave. It's
Okay.
it's about the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers.
Interesting.
It's a reenactment of like.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
It's pretty good, bro.
reenactment. I've seen the
It's
short
pretty
clips.
good.
That's pretty sick.
Check it out, man. It's pretty good. You should check it out too. All right.
They probably had. They probably
Yeah, I
had
gotta
Magic
brush
Johnson
up.
in the locker room mashing up some things.
Yo. And then
Yeah.
number 4,
Yeah.
I got Wilt.
Wilt, and that's hard to not have, man. Wilt was.
He has to
They
be
had
in
to
the top
change the
five
rules.
And that's what he told
Yeah.
Jordan in '97. He's like, Jordan, they had to change the rules for me.
Yeah.
And that's why Wilt thinks he's the greatest of all time.
He averaged 50.
I don't disagree with that. Still,
Yo,
you're not wrong if you say he
If
could be
Wilt
the greatest
told
of all
me-
time.
If he was still here today and
Yeah.
he came up to me and said, "I'm the greatest alive,"
Yeah.
I would say yes.
I'll say it.
Well,
Yes, you are.
We would have to agree still, because he'd be like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm the best, right?
But yo,
Yeah.
he he averaged
Yeah, man.
he averaged 50
That's
in a
crazy.
time where there was no
Broski.
3-point line.
Broski.
Think about that.
And Wilt had moves, man. He had like these spin moves that like
Yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon and these. Bro, how did he doing that in the '60s?
And you know what? People always say like, oh, I heard a comment the other day. JJ Redick, former NBA player on First Take, he
Yes,
was
sir.
saying, oh, yeah, but these guys played against plumbers and firemen. But
Bro.
you know what? It's not about who they played against. It's about what was the standard for that time
Exactly.
and how they compared to the standard at that time.
Yep.
The standard was right here.
Broski.
Will Chamberlain was right
He
here.
obliterated
That's
the
the facts.
standard.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what I'm
the
saying. And they
facts.
changed the rules.
Because of him.
Come on, that's showing
Yeah.
you're ahead of your time and you're actually 1 in a billion. I think Wilt's 1 in a billion still in that sense
Absolutely.
Yeah.
because that's unheard of.
We'll never
Russell's a great player. I don't have my top 5.
No, I don't.
And bro, man's be like, how do you not have Russell in your top 5? I don't even really have him in my top 10. I have him at 11
Yeah.
all time. Just
Who,
because
Bill Russell?
Bill Broski. Bill Russell's great. Probably one of the greatest defenders ever. Maybe number 1.
I don't give a rat's ass about Bill Russell.
Right?
I just know he could beat me one-on-one.
Yeah, Russell beat me 1-on-1, man. Like, but again, the thing with Russell, they went head to head. You know what I'm saying? Against Wilt. Wilt was feeding that team. Of course,
Yeah.
Wilt had, he had some shortcomings in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But his team, you can say, man should try to say like, oh, LeBron was like the Wilt, like Cleveland LeBron the first 7 years. That was Wilt. You know when he was
Back in
getting
the day.
beat up by the Celtics.
Yeah.
Fam, the Celtics were lethal. You know what I mean? And Wilt, what's his face? Crusty old Bill Russell was flipping. He was the center point of that defense. He was like the anchor, and the other mans were able to score and do all those, all the damage and the output. So it's like if Wilt just had a little bit, I don't see how he
He'd be
would
good.
not be the greatest of all time,
Yeah.
fam. You know,
And then
but it doesn't always work out in your favor, man.
And then my last one is Magic, and I'm gonna say this: the reason
Sure.
why I got Magic at number 5 is because Magic was the prototype for today's big man.
Yeah,
And
Ben Simmons.
He was the original, like the
Mhm.
first ever point guard with a big body who could
Mhm.
handle the ball, who could have a shot, who
Mhm.
could dish it out and make his teammates around him better. And I think that's the prototype for big men today who are doing it today. Right?
I don't think anyone today can that Showtime like that fast break.
Yeah.
No one can.
No one can ever
complete
replicate that, yeah,
that
no.
is really hard to do.
Often
like, just
duplicated.
go
never
and
be
you just
replicated.
dish it out. It's very difficult
Yeah.
to do still.
Yeah, so I think without Magic, I think Magic is the one. And even though it took like 20 years for it to happen, without
He
Magic,
pioneered it for
he
sure.
pioneered it for
He for
sure,
sure.
bro. And if
Because
if that doesn't happen, you don't have guys like Anthony Davis, guys like Cat. You don't have guys like Joel Embiid. Like these are the big men of today who are trying to replicate what they saw like 20 years ago.
So you definitely give him like a generational
Yeah.
like impact.
Yeah, and then if you look at with him, he didn't play that long because he got HIV and had to retire early. But he has like 5 rings in, what was it, like 10 years, man. He
Yeah,
has
so
5 rings in 10.
Him and Bird, definitely 80s, they were killing each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Either year could have been
It
the
was
Celtics
back-
or the
back-
Lakers.
It was back and forth.
Definitely.
But the man had 5. He had 5 rings.
And
in
game 6
11
in his
yeah.
first year or whatever, or something like that when they won.
And think about how many finals he
that's
went
pretty
to.
good. Yeah, I think it was 8 or
Yeah, so
something.
he could have, he
Yeah.
could realistically, if he had swept the finals,
Yeah.
we might be talking about him as the GOAT,
Mhm.
right? Because if he had done all that in just,
It would
Yeah, that
have
10
been
years,
impossible
yeah.
to combat that.
yeah, it would be like, whoa.
Yeah, I remember there was one series where they just beat the Pistons 4-3.
Yeah, and
Isaiah Thomas, that was a crazy
yes,
series.
they barely beat them.
Broski, they would have been the first team to three-peat. The Pistons before the Celtics or after the Celtics, like
Yeah.
the '60s Celtics.
Yeah.
And then Jordan obviously came and
Yeah.
went to God mode, gave you 2 three-peats because
Yeah.
one wasn't enough, But yeah, it's crazy, man. How one game can just change your legacy, fam.
Yeah, bro.
And that's why I love the sport.
100%.
I just don't like the
But you
bitchness
just don't
from
like
the
the
players.
bitchness right now.
Yeah, I mean, because they're getting paid a lot of money still. A lot of money, man. They got to represent, and then they're doing like the time off thing with the injury. Oh, I'm injured today.
Load management. I don't respect that.
I hate that, man. Because like, imagine this. Like, you know, we're working a job. Whether that's 9 to 5, whether that's 5 to 9. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're working, and it's like, imagine you saved up your money, and you went to a game and Kawhi wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Or LeBron wasn't playing. He was supposed to play. The tickets were $500 for like the shit nosebleeds or whatever. That's not fair, man. You owe it to your fans.
What the hell am I paying for?
That's well, I can't see
I've never
LeBron.
thought of it like that, bro.
But that's the thing. It's like
Jordan's scamming me.
That's like Jordan set that standard in a sense. Like, yo, like I'm playing for the man who traveled from the Philippines.
Yeah.
You know.
Yo, but yo,
I don't know why I said the Philippines still.
My thing is this.
For real though. Yeah.
If players are gonna be doing that, if players are gonna be doing this low management business and sitting out, you better be playing till you're 40.
Facts.
You better be playing.
Do you think with modern fuck ups and nutrition and all that, they're saying it's advanced, but like players again injured, fam,
easy,
crazy injuries, and man could say, oh yo, the bones
and it's
all
less
that.
Contact. So what?
That's what I'm saying. So what's the root of this? You know, that's a whole. That's
I never really,
bro.
I
that's a whole different
That's
conversation.
another 6
hour
conversation. That's like I need to eat dinner and then we can go into that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you're gonna have to come back like next week and the week after.
Like the conversation will never end. We can go into that, but. You know, back to just to conclude it, like the load man, I don't respect that, fam.
Hold on, wait.
You know?
I want to ask something. What do you think? What do you think about Kyrie Irving?
And his whole like
everything about Kyrie Irving, everything.
So you see, I was very critical of Kyrie, definitely during the pandemic when he was doing his whole thing, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm not trying to play unless we start our own league." And I'm thinking, like, Kyrie, that's not a good look, fam, because. First of all, I'm sure Kyrie grew up with a little bit of money. His dad played. I think
he did.
Jedrick Irving played in the NBA. Like he had some money, so he wasn't poor. But Kyrie, he's kind of zook still. He's emotional, and man's apparently saying ever since Kobe died, he hasn't been the same. Because I think he really valued Kobe. Like he was like his older like brother, fam. Like he really loved Kobe. You know, so I might have messed with his head.
Yeah,
because he's been kind of going crazy ever since.
Man, my thing is like.
But Kyrie's a great player though.
My thing with Kyrie is
nasty.
Yeah. I think with Kyrie is we talk about load management.
Yeah.
Kyrie loves to get paid, but Kyrie seems like he doesn't love to play.
Yeah.
Facts.
Okay. I ain't gonna talk about the vaccine thing because you know what? That's different.
That's different.
That's different. But my thing is, when the riot happened, in the U.S. Capitol, back in January
6th. To be exact, yeah.
This brother showed up and said, "I don't want to play. I want to take a couple days off because I'm drained." You don't think there's millions of people
that are
drained from watching this foolishness on TV?
Now, can I take off work?
Can I take a day off because I'm drained?
That's the same.
They would have had me replaced by the next day.
You have to be held to the same standard.
There you go.
But it's worse for him because he's a representation to a lot of young kids, fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Around the world. So you can't make that crazy claim, bro.
I just don't like I don't rate that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you out here saying like, oh, I gotta take a few days off for mental health, and then there's videos of you partying.
Yeah.
Weird with like your sister. Now
I remember that.
It was your sister's birthday party.
Yeah,
but still, bro,
smiling
it's
and all
not
that.
a good look.
Don't let that come out.
What I'm
you know what I'm saying?
Bro, don't let that come out.
And so now you got a guy like Kyrie who like, you know, likes to be to his own drum. By all means, do your thing, bro. You know, be your own drum. Be who you want to be.
Yes, sir.
Right, but like, don't be surprised now if a team looks at you and says, "I ain't gonna give you a max contract for multi-years." I ain't gonna do that, which is exactly what happened, right? The Brooklyn Nets said, "We ain't gonna give you a max contract for multi-years because you don't want to play, but you want to get paid, right? We ain't gonna give it to you. We can't trust you to be here."
Yeah.
You know
and he showed that he couldn't be trusted to be there.
There you go.
He literally showed it.
There you go.
So don't complain.
This low management.
Don't complain.
Yeah, I don't respect it.
Even look at a guy like Ben Simmons. Oh,
you see, I don't like Ben Simmons.
I ain't gonna get started on Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I don't like Ben Simmons.
That's a whole nother hour.
But you can't. But one thing I don't like is you have some of these athletes.
Seminar, dog.
Yeah, you have these athletes who just want to get paid, but don't want to play for the people who are paying to see you.
Come on, man. Like,
right?
That's for real.
I never thought of it like that ever.
These
until
kids from the hood saving up lunch money.
When you
see their
when you sign
player,
the contract, you're obligated to show up to practice, show up, play the game.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to do the post game interview. Like you have to do that. It's part of your contract.
So then, how are they getting away with it?
Like, I'm sure there's
like,
internal. There's front management is definitely saying some shit like, "Yo, Ben, fix up." You know what I mean? Not like that, but it's like, listen,
But yo,
Mr. Simmons,
then
you need to put in
terminate the
work.
contract.
It's hard though.
can't.
It's hard to do that because
Yeah.
it's a done deal. Like they're on contract,
Yeah.
but it causes problems though.
But
You
this
see
is
what I
what's
mean?
fucked up.
And
If I
these
go
guys-
against my work contract
You're
right
done.
now,
Right.
I'm gone.
But here's the thing though.
So why is it different?
Well, I don't be offensive and all
I know
that,
what you're
but
saying.
Because I'm
It-
broke.
No.
I mean, we
no.
can say that, but you and I,
Mhm.
because we're part of the Shakin' It podcast. We may be shaking in other walks of life or whatever, but we're not Ben Simmons.
Exactly.
I'm King Sully. Like that has no name compared to Ben Simmons.
Oh, we're two bums.
We're two
No,
bums.
you guys are not two bums, but like, it's
Of
like,
course not in that sense.
Are
but
you
We're just not-
are you
we're-
one of one? Are you the one of one for your
there,
craft?
there you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
In
Like,
my
are you
mind,
irreplaceable? in
Yes.
your- you know what I'm saying?
I love
And yo,
that-
you should have
Listen,
that. You
I
should
love
have
that
No, I am.
confidence. I love that
Yeah.
confidence,
Yeah.
but we're speaking in reality
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You-
We're speaking out of reality. You know what I mean? Like
no, I
Ben
get. I know
Simmons
exactly
is a
what you're
household
saying.
name. He brings
Ben
his money in.
Simmons is a freak that should actually be better than he
He
Yeah,
has
showing
yeah.
out
potential,
himself to be.
Yeah.
but he's arrogant. He has the
But why are they
problems.
going
There's
off of potential,
entitlement.
bro?
A lot of
Yeah.
these brothers have entitlement. I
Yeah.
kind of understand entitlement.
I get it, but
450. There's 450 people in the NBA. I
Yeah.
can't even name more than 50
yeah.
that are
Facts.
relevant players. You
Big
feel me?
That's
facts.
facts.
I take the TTC. It sounds like this, bro. It sounds like the previous episode. Like I'm taking the TTC. These guys are taking chartered flights. It's not the same. We're not in the same
we're in two
ballpark.
different, two
So I can
different
see
talks.
the entitlement.
Yeah.
I understand it from that perspective. These guys weren't rich growing up, and then they had to grind, and that's why they hit their chest. You can feel that, you
Nah,
know.
you're right.
But you are obligated to show up,
Facts.
and that's my only problem. Because if I don't want to show up, they'd be like,
I'm
all
getting
right.
fired.
Say
all
less.
right,
You're
well,
replacing.
You don't have to
Yeah.
come in for a day or two, but do that
Okay,
for 2 weeks.
so-
You're gone. man.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys don't think Ben Simmons is replaceable?
He's
To be honest, if you
I'm-
if you look at let's go what type of player he is.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a point guard. He's a point guard who's the same height
He's
as like
6'10".
basically
yeah.
like a point forward or whatever.
He's a
That's-
point
that's
forward,
the stretch forward,
right?
whatever the nickname.
Okay.
they
He
give it,
is
Yeah.
he is a top 3 defensive player in the league. He is
Yeah.
who can defend all 5 positions. He's already defending the point guard because he is a point guard.
Yeah.
But he can defend the center, the power forward, the shooting guard, the small
Yeah.
forward.
The wing players he can guard.
Oh,
Right.
so he's an actual anomaly, and
Yeah.
he's actually irreplaceable
Ex-
at this point in the
Yeah,
league
he
right
can
now.
he can set you up for a good plays. He can throw dimes. He can do all that stuff.
Oh,
he
so
can
then
if he-
finish.
I'm gonna stop talking.
Yeah, if he adds a jump shot, now we're looking at
Oh, he's God
MVP.
level now.
We're
Yeah.
actually looking at MVP, 100%. So he's not irreplaceable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I have one other question.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Look, we're interviewing him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I got
this is
one
what he
more-
wanted though.
I got one more question.
Let it out.
Why doesn't he develop a shot? Or why do
No,
these players?
see, that's a great.
So hold up.
I love that.
Let me finish.
Because now I'm
this.
gonna get angry.
I'm
you see, you see,
Why-
I'm getting angry, bro.
Why do these
Roasted.
players that have
Rich.
outstanding potential
Stop it.
and they know exactly what their issues are because
Yeah.
we at home know exactly what
And-
these mans need to fix.
And that's what I
Yeah.
try to tell man.
Why don't they just hop in the gym? You have fucking all the motherfucking time in the world.
Yep.
Just
They have
hop in the
time
gym, bro.
and resources.
You have the resources
to improve.
You are literally
I don't-
in
I don't
contact
get it,
with
man.
the best of the best
Of
in
the
your
best.
craft to
Broski, I
teach
don't
you.
get it,
Of
man.
the best.
Unless there's a mental blockage.
Which Ben
I-
Simmons says he has.
You see, but nah, man,
he
I'm
says he
not.
has a
I'm
mental-
not buying that because now he's fallen into the damn the whole trend with like, oh my. You see, I don't.
He
even
has a
wanna-
mental
I don't
blockage.
want to give my opinion still.
Ben's but yo,
Like the whole mental health.
Why don't
wave
they
and
just
all
fix
that.
up, man?
I can't even answer that question because
Broski.
it
I
doesn't,
know
it doesn't
you
even
would
make
have fixed up if you knew you had some
Broski.
type of
bro.
Bro,
issue with your game.
I
know
I would
you
have fixed up
that
quick.
So let me give you a real world funny example, right? So I say hi to you in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And your breath stinks.
Yeah.
And I tell you, Jelani, your breath's hot. But I tell you it to you, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm
My
like,
breath's
yo,
not
bro.
hot.
And she's not hot. It's just an example.
Yeah.
It's an authentic example, right? So I'm like, yo, Jelani, your breath's hot. You're thinking like, damn, this guy cares about me. He's telling me personally, yo, my breath's hot. I gotta fix up. That's what you would logically think, right?
If you told me my breath was hot, I'm
Mhm.
immediately running here where
Exactly.
we are right now, grabbing my toothbrush,
Mm-hmm.
going to Shoppers, buying a tongue brush,
A tongue scraper
scraping my tongue,
for a few minutes
and
until-
brushing my teeth
Exactly.
until my tongue
Now-
is pink.
That's coming from me, someone who cares about you, to tell you that. I don't get how there's all them analytics around him and the mans that live and breathe basketball, right? They know Simmons can't shoot. Broski, get this guy a trainer, which is all over the world. Like
Get
all these
lethal
mans-
shooter.
Exactly. For example,
you could connect with
I would get
any
shit,
of
bro.
these
Right.
mans,
Yeah.
bro.
they can improve, but that's the only thing that cheeses me.
Yeah.
Because if I was 6'9", I would be in the gym. I do have like I'm saying if I had the potential.
Yeah.
6'9" is an exaggeration.
Yeah.
6'4", you know what I mean? Just give me the prototype body type.
And unless you're getting paid
Right?
millions, bro.
Give me just the body type. I have the mental aspect
Yeah.
of it. I could do it.
Yeah.
These guys have the body type. They don't really put that much work in, and they don't have that. That's why Kobe doesn't rate this generation. You know what I'm saying? Or didn't rate
Fact,
them.
That's why
bro,
you
it's
don't rate
facts,
this
He
man.
generation.
paged them. Say it again.
And that's why you don't rate it.
Yeah, because my mindset would be that of like, you know, a Jordan
be
or
a-
these
you
guys.
have
Like,
the
not Jordan in
mentality of them.
particular, but their mentality. You just got to do it, fam. Like, a man gets clocked. I don't mind getting hit, getting back up. Just don't break my nose. But let's say it got broken. Fuck it. I'm back on.
Just still
But
playing.
then, yo,
Try my best.
big thing though,
They
but
don't
that,
have that,
I
man.
think that's what separates the GOATs from like
Definitely.
The regular
the
Joe
regulars,
Smokes.
bro. Because yo, look at Jordan, bro.
That guy.
He had to. He wasn't winning right away.
No, he was enduring, man.
Yeah,
them
bro.
bad boy pistols were trying. They had a
He got-
rule. The
he
Jordan
didn't-
rules.
Yeah, the Jordan rules. What's
They,
his,
they
what's
never
his-
made
yeah.
a. They never made a. They never made a rule for the shit in the podcast.
But yo, you look at Jordan, bro. Even Kobe. Let's look at
Yeah,
Kobe, right?
Exactly.
Kobe,
He came in young.
bro. Kobe had to learn a lot, bro. If you look at some of Kobe's early playoff performances, there was one playoff performance I think it was against Utah Western Conference
air
Finals.
balls, right?
The air balls, man.
That was a learning lesson.
Yeah,
He hit the air
on
balls.
the world stage shooting air balls, bro.
He
and
took it like a champ.
Yeah, and he came back, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what? He worked on his 3-point shot.
Yeah.
He
That's
worked
what I'm
on it,
saying.
bro.
Like, they don't.
know-
These players today, they don't. It's basically the Michael Jordan mentality. You know
But
what I mean?
but here's the thing,
And the
though.
Mamba mentality.
But nah, we gotta take into consideration the amount of money they're getting paid these days.
Okay,
because,
I was
yo,
literally about
yo,
to say that.
Because
That's
back
what
then,
cheeses me, bro.
because back then, Kobe,
Oh yeah.
yo,
We'll get
Kobe,
into that,
they're-
yeah.
they're not getting paid like,
Oh yeah.
they're not getting paid like tens, billions, hundreds of millions of dollars,
Broski.
right? They're getting paid like a
1
couple,
mil,
couple
2
mil.
mil.
Jordan was
6
getting
mil if you're the
banged in for
greasiest.
800 bands a year.
What?
Broski. He was getting banged in for 800 bands a year. I'm not even looking 878 or something like that. He banged in. Like, that's the epitome of like passion, bro. And I don't see that with Trey Young.
Yo, no
Like-
lie, bro. These players
like-
are making money where they could retire off their first contract.
That is
Yeah.
facts.
They could retire
Broski,
off their
rookie
first.
contracts are getting like $6 million.
And so my thing is like at this point now,
USD.
yeah, USD.
Yeah.
And yo, if you're playing in a state like Florida, no state taxes, you're not getting taxed at all.
No, why do you think LeBron went there for a couple years?
Exactly.
You know
Why
what I
do you
mean?
think Kyle
goes to
Lowry?
Miami?
Why do you think Kyle Lowry went to Miami? He's
Welcome.
living in Canada getting all
Welcome.
money
He's getting
taxed.
bare taxes.
He's gotta
Welcome
make up
to
for it.
Miami. Yeah,
Exactly.
real shit, fam.
So at this
Damn.
point, bro, with the money that these players are making, in order to take your game to the next level and actually get better, it's gonna be about passion. It's about love for the
and
game.
they
bro.
do not have that.
Most mans do not have that.
None of them have it, bro.
I mean, if you're growing up poor and
you would
suddenly-
have it.
If you're growing up poor, right, and you make it to the NBA, you're suddenly making like $10 million a year.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, are you really gonna be like? You kind of like.
Do you want to be the best now,
It
or
dep-
was
it's
your
like-
main goal just to get the dollars to
For a
get
lot
your
of people-
family out of the
But for a
situation?
lot of people, it's the dollars to get their
Yes,
family.
And I
that's
get that.
true. You see what I'm
know,
saying?
I understand that
Yeah.
aspect of it. Yeah.
And so it's just like you already succeeded in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it's like now like the ring is like a bonus.
Mhm.
To get better and be one of the greatest of all time is a bonus. A big bonus, right?
It's worth it, man. If you
Yeah.
if you dive deep,
Yeah.
if you have that mindset, but it's hard. It's not easy. Not a lot of them.
I just
Not
want
a
to
lot
know
of
if
them
these.
possess it.
I just want to know if they feel accomplished after everything's said and done. You know.
I mean, but that's
After
the
your career in the NBA, and you know,
are they
you
do
don't
they
give
feel
a fuck.
accomplished?
Like you don't actually care. You just cared about the money. After
Which
you're
is
done,
most of them.
you fade to nothing. But then again, some people want that. They don't even want the shine. They don't want the
No.
spotlight. They just wanted the dollars. And you know what?
Broski, they're
If I was in the NBA right now, give me the dollars.
So hold on, yo. So
So
just
he would.
I'm outta here.
I feel like he and I would be more like we're trying to put in the work to get us to maximize our potential.
I genuinely believe you, like you two, if
Yeah.
you both were in the NBA,
yeah.
you would be screaming at me.
Yeah.
Who's getting the dollars?
Yeah, but he's not.
I'm
He's
not
lifting
putting
up
in
his
no
weight.
work.
Yeah.
And then boom, you're gonna say, Gilleon, why do you shoot with your left hand when you're right-handed? I'm
Yeah.
just like, yo, man,
Fuck
it
you,
Or
works.
some shit.
It works.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what
Yeah,
though?
that's true.
I think I'm getting out of this conversation is yo, we actually need to be on this guy to follow through with that plan
Yeah.
and get him to that G League tryout.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I don't
And
actually
start-
want to play
No, we gotta
basketball.
do it, man.
You
But
know what
even
I
if-
actually want to do, though?
What?
Fitness model.
Are you fucked? No, man.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to be the volleyball player.
Oh yeah.
But
Remember
still,
that.
we
I
can-
lied. You want to
the-
know what I'm actually going to do?
Okay.
The podcast.
are you doing a podcast?
Yeah, but we're gonna put
You gonna
full,
make.
I'm gonna live, eat, breathe the podcast.
Okay.
So and then we're gonna be out of here.
So,
Yeah.
so essentially, what he's trying to say is he's trying to fire Jamar and Reggie, and he's trying to take over the back as well.
Oh, Sullivan. You're out too. It's just gonna be.
He's gonna be hosting everything. You'll be front and back.
You're gonna see me running back and forth to the camera.
Hey, listen, but let's be real though. You look at
Yeah.
Draymond Green. His
Yeah.
podcast is just him talking for 3 hours.
Talks, yeah.
So this man could make a podcast, him just talking for 3
you
hours.
could do that.
It got to be good though, because it's just you. It got to be good.
So
So
you have to
you
be
just start knocking over
outspoken.
microphone. You can't do that when you're by yourself.
facts,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's true. You have to be outspoken.
yeah,
Draymond's outspoken.
he's outspoken. I like
So
Draymond.
that's
He's
why I
cool.
like you could listen to him
I
talk
fuck with
and
Draymond Green.
he's
Still.
good.
I fuck with him heavy. He's just a
Shrek.
funny you. He
I thought
just
you were
looks
gonna
like
say he's just a Shrek. That's what I thought he was gonna say.
People think he looks like a donkey from Shrek.
Donkey for Shrek. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's his comparison that he gets often.
that's pretty funny still.
I mean, like, I ain't gonna say nothing. Like, I'm just
Nah, man, we ain't go
I'm just-
commenting on the next man. You know.
Yeah.
But yo,
But listen, man, listen. Thank you for everything.
this
Big
was
ups, big
this
ups.
was
This
beautiful,
is really
bro.
good still.
This
Big ups,
is,
bro.
I'm gonna tell you right
he's
now.
very outspoken. I love
Appreciate
that.
you.
Yeah, that's
This
great.
is our longest
Sec-
episode to
yeah,
date.
man.
I hope it's one of the best. Cause
Yeah.
Oh,
if it's
to me,
trash,
it's one
if
of
it's
the
trash,
best.
it's gonna be a hard listen.
Oh
for a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
people.
no, no.
No, this was
I
very
was
good.
good.
This was
This
blessed.
very good.
No,
You were very insightful. You were very like, you were good still. Jelon
appreciate
was
that.
inspired. He was like,
I literally
that
told you.
plan had him like shaking wall.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I literally told this man before you came on. I was like, yo,
you're gonna love this guy.
you're
yeah.
gonna love this guy. Like
Yeah.
this is the like you're gonna.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole fucking 40 minutes
Up.
where I was just silent, smiling.
Yeah, I knew. Like, when that segment came, Jelon's like, "Damn, this is what I was
This is
waiting
what I was
for."
waiting
Yo.
for.
He's like, "Why are you getting mad?" And I'm like, "Fam, I can't control it. It just happens when I speak
Nah,
about
yo.
it, you know." But
I gotta say this. I gotta say shout outs to you guys
of course,
Appreciate you.
because everything starts with just an idea,
I
right?
agree, man.
A lot of ideas just stay ideas, right?
Exactly.
But this became a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing your thing. You guys are doing great stuff. You guys
Yes,
are putting
sir.
out great content. You guys are having great conversations,
Thanks, fam.
right? Get that Burst Bees sponsorship, please.
Mhm.
Burst Bees, come on.
Eddie
Let's
done know
go.
what it is.
You see what I'm saying?
Birds, bees.
Come on.
Come
Birds.
through. All right.
Mhm.
What's that saying you have?
Oh,
When your lips get dry, you must
you
reapply.
must
When
reapply.
your lips get dry, you must reapply. Burst
Mhm.
Bees,
Burst
right?
Bees.
You guys should trademark that before they steal it.
I'm 100%
Yeah,
And then
shit,
sell
we
it to
have
them.
looking into it right
Yeah.
We
now.
have to trademark that.
But shout outs to you guys though. You guys are having great conversations. Thanks for
Thanks,
having me on. I'll
bro.
be on again one day. and I'm
Anytime.
Oh,
willing to
no,
let
no,
you
no.
know,
You'll be back on. We got a lot
Anytime.
more to talk about.
all right?
You look how many topics you were like, oh, that's another 6
Nah,
hours.
that's like
That's
6
another
hours.
hour,
Jelon,
you know?
just to end it off real quick. He did say he was at MLSC, so when can we expect some tickets? he thought he just thought just come here and not get us a ticket.
Listen, I don't work in ticketing department. I'm just listen. I'm just an account manager.
That's a good
Right.
cover up. That's a good
I'm just
cover
an
up.
account- That's it.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
I'm
just
playing
work
with
with like partnerships and stuff like that.
Yes,
It's pretty
sir.
cool. But I don't work in ticketing,
Mhm.
right? Jelon's experienced the ticket like
I
That
have.
lifestyle,
Blessing
right? Yeah,
before.
I went to a hockey
yeah,
game
for
because
sure.
of this
Yeah,
man.
so,
I
like,
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, so
never
the-
experienced
good
that, but it was
gestures.
beautiful. Shout out
Yeah.
to the Leafs. We needed y'all this year, Maple Leafs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
Y'all shit your
they actually
fucking pants
screwed it
again.
up.
I can't say nothing. That's fine. They pay my
Yeah.
bills. So.
I mean,
That's
yo, we'll
true,
bleep that.
Yeah.
We'll
But-
bleep that.
Nah, man. But
Real shit.
nah, man. Whenever if I could ever find a way to get you guys some, I'll try.
Let
man.
us know, man.
I'll try, man.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Yeah.
If the blessing comes around, I'll let Jelon know and let Jelon can
Of
like the
course.
Spurs. You see what I'm saying?
course.
Yo, y'all want to go to
Of
Argos
course.
games?
We're about whatever.
What about it? Yeah.
Y'all want to go to Argos?
That's
Okay.
like
Yeah,
BMO
we're
field.
about
That's
Yeah,
it.
BMO
Yeah,
field.
that's
like
fine.
Argos,
We can do it.
yeah, that's starting up pretty soon. So.
We can do it.
I'm
man.
about whatever.
Anything.
Anything, man. Yep.
We'll
I'm
do
gonna
it
wear
all.
a Shaking It t-shirt and have a
A
big
line?
Shaking It sign and just say, yo, follow at Shaking It podcast. Yeah.
Be like, yo,
All
so and so, follow the podcast.
Now, yo, before you
Yeah.
go, make sure you plug.
Hey, I was gonna say,
There
July,
you go.
it's that time.
This guy told me.
He told him.
Solomon, why don't you do it today, man? Shit.
Oh man, I don't even know how to do it. YouTube,
Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, Shaking It podcast. Keep watching. Keep
Instagram.
subscribing. Keep liking. Watch the shorts. We need those. We need those views. We need those subscribers.
Yes, sir.
We need those comments.
Amen.
Everything, man.
Like, just comment and like. It's not hard.
Amen.
TikTok. Thank y'all for supporting us. We're getting the most support on TikTok right now.
Yes,
So
sir.
honestly, guys, we appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
IG,
Mhm.
Shaking It. Please, guys, the clips are fire.
Yeah,
Come
we're
on.
actually-
You
we're
know
actually
you're laughing at the
shaking.
clips. Unless y'all aren't even watching the clips. You're just clicking it and just,
they're
oh,
watching
shaking
it.
the podcast? Oh, skip. Yeah, like if y'all hitting that.
Oh my
if you're
gosh,
hitting us with
Solomon
that,
and Gilleon, I'm not watching that.
fuck. You
Yo,
guys
make
are
sure,
dissing.
make sure y'all like to get that video. My man needs to get a cell phone.
Oh yeah, the
Cell phone
sim.
plan.
Oh, yeah, my
100
boy needs
likes.
to start.
100. It's at, I think it's at
Please.
60. It's at 60 likes.
Please, because
I'm
yo,
trying to have
Courtney,
it stay at like 75.
Courtney
still.
does not have a phone plan, and that
Oh, yeah.
cheeses me, bro.
Yeah.
Cheeses me.
So we're both shaking it.
Yeah.
Say
So
no
please
more.
like that
I
video.
rate
Get this
that.
man to a phone
I
plan.
rate it.
Please, 100. Let's get it.
Okay.
Yes,
What
sir.
else, Jelon?
Lastly, Spotify and Apple podcasts. Thank y'all for supporting us there too. We really appreciate that as well. And yo,
Oh man.
last but not least, thank you to Dashawn.
Our guest, man.
Follow him. Actually, y'all don't even need to follow him. My boy's out of here, bro. This guy's blessed
Yo,
already.
follow me.
Follow him.
me
He's good.
At persevere_. That's my startup. PRSVRE. We currently at 15,900 followers on IG.
I rate
Let's
it.
get that to 16,000.
Let's do it.
Largest university sports media company in Canada.
Say
We
no
didn't talk
more.
about today. We'll talk about it another time.
We'll talk about it
sir.
next time.
16K. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Rate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on board, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Jelon?
Appreciate
And
you.
lastly,
Uh-huh.
everybody's got something to say.
So come through and say it, players.
Let's go.
Yo. I thought I was going to mess it up. I thought I was going to mess it up.
That was
Yo, that was
good
sick,
shit.
bro.
That was very good.
Good
That was
shit.
very good, bro.